Hi, Chris Blees here for another Designer Diary, and today is with Rachel Young. She's a learning leader at Captain John Palliser's school, which was actually one of the 4 schools that was awarded as a winner last year in season 1.
Yeah.
Rachel, can you tell me, what are you responsible for at Captain John Palliser?
So at CJP, I'm a learning leader, which means I'm helping teachers with their instructional practices, giving them strategies, resources, but also taking the time to help coach. But I also lead professional development sessions, and also I'm in charge of helping with Indigenous ways of knowing. So for example, we're fortunate to pair up with Elder Shirley this year, and in the past we've able to get in knowledge keepers like Darcy Turning Robe into our school and our space, and just help teachers broaden their understanding of what that means.
Thank you. So yeah, that instructional leadership piece is crucial in your role. Mm-hmm. Certainly. What is your experience with integrating technology? Like, as a learning leader, thinking about that instructional leadership and professional learning that you're leading at the school level, how have you integrated technology into your practice, and how are you leading that work?
Personally, in my classroom, we've been using technology as a way to not only research, but also extend our understanding of certain concepts or subjects. And we've also been very fortunate as a school to have different types of technology. So not just iPads, Chromebooks, and laptops, we've also been fortunate enough to have Ozobots, dots and dashes, Lego bits, and Little Bits, Lego Mindstorms, there we go. And what's brilliant about integrating the technology is because I can use that to help teach any concept I would like, whether it's patterns, constellations, light and shadow, like I can just cover everything. And it's engaging, and I keep students longer with me when I'm able to show them a piece of tech that helps them understand what it is they're learning. So as a school, we've been really trying to emphasize using technology as a way for students to show their understanding.
So last year you participated in Level Up Season 1, and one of your students, Poppy, was of course awarded in the winner in the Div 2 category. And so just take yourself back a little bit. Like, how did you decide to participate in the challenge last year?
So I got the flyer inside my mailbox, and I looked at it, and I was just like, so this is what every kid is talking about when they're talking about creepers, zombies, and creative mode and adventure mode. And they're like, oh, I have this sword now. This diamond sword is much better than this one. I have no idea what they're talking about. I've heard of it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try this, because it's a language and a form that most of them who've had the privilege of using technology and have access at home, that they're familiar with. Mm-hmm. So they're used to this world where they get to build with the 3D blocks. And I thought, all right, I have to start teaching citizenship. And I was like, how am I going to do this? And then I saw it in the mailbox, and I was like, hey, that's how we're going to do it. So I've got this idea of trying to help students understand that citizenship is about taking care of a place and making sure that people feel like they belong in a space, as well as how we treat each other. So what's the best creative outlook to do that? So then Minecraft was our solution.
So Minecraft was new to you?
Oh yeah, it was totally new to me. I will admit it. I was a noob. I spent just hours trying to play it myself and watching, of course, on the CB Staff Insight page, videos and tutorials, having no idea. But then I also asked the kids, I was like, hey, you guys know this platform really well. What do you know? And actually,
they do,
they do. Yeah. And it actually developed a lot of leadership in our little classroom community and around the school, because there were kids who've never seen this and kids who have. So it was actually really great to see kids who normally don't speak up in class because they can't right away answer during a number talk. But when they were able to share what they know about Minecraft, they actually worked and they popped around little partners to help troubleshoot for them. Oh, and it was a gift to see that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like with your students? You've talked a bit about that. I want to perhaps maybe hone in on Poppy specifically. Yeah. And I did have an opportunity to meet with Poppy last year.
Yeah.
And so Poppy's idea was for climbable abstract public art, which the city actually took inspiration from her idea and did install kind of this funky, climbable furniture, which you'll find downtown. Mm-hmm. So what was that experience like for Poppy?
Well, for Poppy, she knew that she liked two things. She loved the playground. She knew there was a brand new one coming to CJP, but she also liked color and she just liked art. And so her solution was, I like these two things. I think other people are going to like them as well, because if we need parks and we need green spaces and we want it to be accessible for everyone, well, play is meant to be for everyone.
I feel like this, having met her, just felt like this helped her find her voice in expressing this way. Like she found confidence in expressing through this medium. She did.
And even though on her face, she's very calm, neutral, and she's like, I'm very excited. Or I was freaking out more than she was. And I was like, you won. It's working. It's going to happen. And she's like, yeah. And so she's just taking it in. Exactly. But it definitely was a huge confidence booster because she loves coding. She loves art and building in Minecraft. And to have her project realized shows that student voice does matter at different levels.
Yeah. Now, thinking about your experience with season 1, and as we head into season 2, we're launching, of course, at CCTC on February 16th. What advice would you give to teachers that might be considering participating in season 2?
One of the big things I would say is just go in it with an open mind, because you never know what you're going to actually come up with. And when you go into it with an open mind, I understand it can be a bit scary because if you've never dealt with the program before, and there always just seems to be expertise within our students. And so giving them just another way to show their understanding opens doors for those leadership opportunities to help them understand this is the why we teach certain things and this is how we're going to do it. So just keeping an open mind. I loved graphic organizers just so that I can break down the concept and the step of here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to talk about it, and then this is the feedback. And the students got used to that cycle where they actually looked at each other's plans and they would actually write feedback and say, I don't think we're quite hitting on the pillar of connect because your space is looking like this. Why don't you try this? So we kind of set it up with that cycle of STEM and engineering where it was constant revisions. So that really helped them focus and narrow it down as to what it is they were building. So that Minecraft was more of a tool. And I would also say that getting to know your community, whether it's like facilities around you or just the population itself, that's where the ideas are going to come from.
So I'm hearing just leveraging student expertise, risk-taking, and just having that kind of openness to try out a new tool. If it's something unfamiliar, there's lots of support. So
yeah.
Rachel, thank you. I'm just so grateful to have you here today and taking the time to be with us today. February 16th at CCTC is our launch. Thank you, Rachel, and we'll see you next time.